Hello everybody, it's Claire from Art Journal Love with another inspiration video using some fabulous products from grafixarts.com. If you head to their website you can see lots more inspiration projects there. I'm going to be making some little covers for some jars to make some tea light holders. I'm going to be playing with the Duralar. This is a two-sided matte film and it accepts ink and coloured pencil and you can erase off it really easily. And it cuts cleanly as well. It's so easy to use. You can use all sorts of different media on it too. And I'm also using one of my favourite products, which is the Incredible White Mask Liquid Frisket. This is so much fun to play with on this Duralar surface. So here I'm just measuring the jar so that I can make almost like a belly band for it really. I'm then going to mark up, I'm just using a Stabilo all pencil to mark because it will write on there really easily and it won't smudge everywhere. I'm just marking out the width that I need to create this band to go around the jar. I'm going to do that for both jars, so I'm just going to measure that one as well and cut out the size that I need. So this is a project that you could do with any size jar really. You could create a little group of these, and I create these to hang up, but they could just as easily stand on the side. With little tea lights in, they look really pretty as the light comes through. So here I'm just using some masking tape. I've grabbed a stencil and I'm taping it down to my surface so that it doesn't wibble around while I'm working. And here I'm just applying the liquid frisket through the stencil so that that pattern comes through onto the piece of Duralar behind. This is quite a meditative job really. It took a little while to do this, and once it's done you then need to set it aside to dry. And although the Duralar is okay to use heat tools on, I did just let it dry on its own, and then I just gave it a little help at the end when I was getting a bit impatient and I wanted it to hurry up. But as you can see, the little tool that comes with the liquid frisket is really easy to use. You can get quite good details using it. It's got a pointy end and it's also got a flat end as well, so that makes it nice and easy. And I'm just working my way along the stencil and just adding that frisket through there. And what that's going to do is create a resist pattern once it's dry. I wanted to try and see, I knew that this works with alcohol inks because I've tried that before, and I wanted to see if it would work as effectively with acrylic paint as well. And it really does. So there's almost nothing that this masking fluid can't do. It's so versatile. Here I'm just freehand drawing some hearts onto the other band for the other jar, and again I'm just using the little tool that comes with it. I just find it so easy to use, and you're not going to be wrecking a paintbrush to create these marks on the Duralar because this tool is specially designed for this. So just pulling those hearts all the way across, doing different sizes, big ones and small ones, dotting them around until I reach the other end. I'm sorry the camera keeps going out of focus. I think it's because my hand was moving around quite a lot. Right, so this is when it's dry. This is what it looks like. Once it's dry, it goes clear. And here I'm using some Amsterdam acrylic paints. Of course, I'm using bright rainbow colours. It's something that I love to do. And I'm just using a makeup sponge to apply these to my page. And I'm just going to pull them across, and I'm painting over the top of the frisket as well, and that's how we're going to create the resist, because it will stop the paint from going onto the surface. So I'm just working my way all the way along using these bright rainbow colours to just jazz up this piece of Duralar. It's such a versatile surface to work with as well. Perfect for tip-ins in your journal. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with it. It's perfect. So this was really fun, and I think creating that kind of stained glass effect as well to go on a tea light holder, it makes it really shine through. So just to help me get the frisket off, I'm using a little pair of tweezers just to lift the first corner. Now obviously you've got to be a little bit careful with the paint that's on the surface because it would scratch. So I'm just being very careful here not to catch it, but you can see that it has worked as a resist. It has masked off that area where the paint was, and I've got that lovely stencil pattern coming through. So the stencil that I used was a Dilutions one. It's one that I've had for quite a long time, but that's created a really effective pattern here. So next, to add a little bit more decoration, I'm just adding a bit of stamping. This is a very old text stamp and black archival ink. Then this is a gloss spray from Dina Wakley Media. I'm just adding some black splatters to that as well, and you can see I'm able to heat set that, so because the Duralar is heat resistant. So next I'm going on to the second belly band, and I'm just going to use different colours of pinks and purples on here, some of my favourites, and creating some bands of colour. Again, just adding that paint over the top of the hearts that have been put on using the liquid Frisket. Again, I'm repeating the same process, just using those tweezers to ease the Frisket off the top of the Duralar. And you can see, again, I've got that lovely pattern that has resisted through the paint. So much fun. I mean, there is just so many different ways that you could create things like this. You could create things for the window as well. Oh, my little brain, it just goes, oh my gosh, so many ideas. So that one is at the stage where I've got all the paint off. I also added some little dots on there too. And then I decided I would outline the hearts using a black, this is a paint pen. I think it's from Life of Colour. And I'm just doing some sort of sketchy lines around those hearts next. Then again, I'm just adding a little bit of stamping. I kind of love the way that this looks. It gives it that sort of mixed media vibe. And I love the fact that it breaks up those colours. So then I'm just checking that they fit around my jars. I've added some wire around the top of the jar and then a piece to use as a hang, to hang it up with. That is just, it's like a sort of jewellery making wire, but in like gardening wire would work just as well. And then I was working out how to attach these, so I've used a bit of double-sided tape, and that worked quite well. And I think on a couple of them I did just add a couple of staples as well, just to help it stay put. They do just stay where you put them. They've not slid off. They are hanging above my desk in my art studio. And they do look so pretty with the little tea lights in at night. I bought some battery powered tea lights for them, and they just flicker away nicely and show the colours off really well. So now I'm going to create some little hearts to hang down from the jar. I'm using some of the clear shrinky film here, and I'm just here adding some patches of colour, which I'm then going to cut some hearts out of and shrink them down so that they can dangle down from one of the jars. I wanted to see how it would look with some little things added on. This shrinky film is so great. Again, another product that has so many possibilities, so many ways that you can use it. And I've enjoyed making little charms to add to so many things, including journals as well. And this is a kind of a way to mix it up. So then it was time to cut the hearts out, and I've cut a heart out of every square of colour that was on the sheet of shrinky film. Next, I've used the Cropodile to just add a hole into these before I shrink them. It does work on them once they've shrunk down, but it's easier beforehand. The next thing I did was added a bit of black archival ink around the edge of the hearts, just to kind of outline those a little bit. And then I started to shrink them. So I have discovered you can do this with a heat tool. My ruler is there to just help flatten it down. Sometimes when they go quite small, they will curl up on themselves. The way that you're actually meant to shrink these is to do them in the oven, but this works perfectly well for me. I think if I was doing something much larger, I would pop it in the oven because I would get a more even shrink on the film. But you can see those hearts are shrinking down quite nicely. I just love how they look. Then I'm using wire to attach those to the bottom of my jars, and there we go. A really lovely way to create some tea light holders using some fabulous products from grafixarts.com.